Joe!
What?
We gotta go back to the past
Why?
to fix some shit in your voice acting career. I'm in.
Hey guys, it's Zieja here. I am a professional voice actor and the founder of LearnVoiceActing.com. I've got like 8,000 jobs under my belt, and it's my job to empower the next generation of voice actors to take control of your career. So, knowing what I know now, what would I go back and change about the way that I started voice acting over 10 years ago? Well, if I had several $billion and unlocked the space-time continuum, here's what I would do differently if I could start all over. Other than buy NVIDIA stock, that's kind of a given. Number one, I would probably get less demos made. I know this sounds counterintuitive because in the industry right now, it often seems like demos are like the gold standard for voice acting. Once you have one, it's like you have this diploma where you can do anything you want for any client and they'll all hire you without question. But the truth of it is that's just not the case. I got 2 demos early in my career that I professionally paid a lot of money for that had nothing to do with the kind of work I was booking. I hadn't worked on character work at all, and I went out and paid money for someone to produce me a video game and an animation demo. Not only did I not really book work using this demo, but it wasn't really a good representation of what I could do with my voice because I hadn't cultivated that skill yet. I feel like a lot of voice actors make this mistake. They go running around just trying to spend money on a demo because they think that that is what's gonna make them sound better than they actually are. You have to remember that demos are just a representation of what you can do at that very moment. And they can expire very quickly if you get them too early in your career when you're still learning. The second thing I would change if I could go back and do it all over again is spend a little bit more time on my professional relationships and a little bit less time grinding. Now, I know I talk all the time about how that old Hollywood adage about it not being about what you can do, but who you know being wrong. And that's not what I'm trying to say here, okay? What I am saying is that there's more to life than work. By the time I got to Los Angeles after having a successful career for over 2 years in Virginia, I thought that there was a lot less to the industry than there actually was. It was just this endless grind of auditioning and booking that had nothing to do with the people I met along the way. Everything we do in the voice acting industry is about stories, and people are the most integral part of it. Without them, without people, those stories don't exist. And sometimes I look back on my career and I wish I had spent a little bit more time on the people and a little bit less time on the job. And last, I think I would have focused a little bit more on my business. Not just simple things like having a more balanced financial life, but things like hiring and firing quicker, understanding the principles of delegation sooner, treating my career more like a business and less like a hobby I was really lucky to be getting paid for. Don't get me wrong, I have good business sense, yeah. But I got really used to kind of being my own little cowboy in the Wild West, doing my own thing, making my own money, making my own decisions. There were a lot of opportunities earlier in my career where I could have hired people to help me do this stuff that wasn't really essential to me, but I didn't. I think this is a problem with a lot of people in a lot of industries all over the place. Many of us don't even really consider our jobs as voice actors real jobs, and the idea that we could ever possibly use some help is insane to us. But realistically, the only thing that requires our presence is our face behind the microphone. There's a lot more than that to running a business being a voice actor. Adopting that mentality earlier in my career would have given me more freedom to explore other paths as a creative and as an entrepreneur later on. It would have prevented burnout earlier and allowed me to focus on my art instead of feeling like I couldn't focus on any one thing. This is why in my academy I teach all the time about my 5 principles of workflow, including delegation. But the reality of it is that fortunately or unfortunately, nobody in this world has a time machine. I can't go back and fix the mistakes in my career or make adjustments based on what I know now. And that's just the way life is. It's my hope that by telling you guys about the different ways that I made my career and introducing you to other people that have made their careers in ways you never could have expected, you can come to take ownership of your career. When you're 10 years in, obviously you'll have a different set of mistakes and some different regrets when it comes to how you handled being a voice actor and all the business surrounding it. That's just the way things go. But hopefully, after having listened to my mistakes, maybe yours will be just a little bit easier to live with. Or maybe you'll finally become the one to build the time machine so that mistakes can never be made again. Just a thought. If you found this video valuable, I'd love a like and a subscribe. It helps me keep the channel going and helps me empower the next generation of voice actors with educational content. I'll see you out there in the next one, but for now, go get behind the mic.